Hello, I'm Steve Haston, Foundation Director for the Academy of Model Aeronautics. And as I continue my road trip up the East Coast, visiting with clubs and flying sites and members, today I'm in Savannah, Georgia. And as you can tell, we're not out at the club. Unfortunately, it's raining really hard here. So we're fortunate that I'm able to have this virtual meeting with the club president of the Tri-County RC Flyers, and I'm going to turn it over to the president to introduce himself and talk about the wonderful things that the club and the members are doing for their community and their flying sites. So it's all yours.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you very much for having me today. I do apologize for the weather we're having. We typically have a lot of great visitations and great weather, of course, but typically we would normally be out at the field. We have a lot of die-hard members who like to go out and brave the weather, but today just isn't one of those. Tri-County RC Flyers Club, AMA Club number 1308, has existed since at least the 1980s. I don't have a specific time frame, and we've gone through a different number of club names and club flying site locations, but over the last 15 to 20 years, we've been located at the location you see in your backdrop in Chatham County, Savannah. What you see there is a lush green runway with a recently put in fabric geotextile runway that the club members used. We used our club funds and personal donations to install. Quite often people think it's a paved runway. It was just so expertly put in by our membership that it's gained quite a lot of popularity. Tri-County RC Flyers sits on what's formerly a landfill, about 18 acres in total. 11 of those are usable, and you can see from the depiction, we're quite narrow. We're surrounded by trees, so new people to the field find it difficult to navigate, extreme hard left turns or right turns, depending on which approach they're having to fly over the dirt road. So the picture there is facing north, and just beyond there we have a youth detention center. To the left we have two firing ranges for the local police department and the Chatham County Sheriff's Department, and to the west on the right hand side we have a new set of apartments. So the flying restrictions can be somewhat tight, but due to the auspices of our District 5 Vice President Andy Griffith and longtime club president and District 5 Associate Vice President Bill Barbie, whom you met, we were among the very first in the country, not just the state of Georgia, but in the country, to receive our federally recognized identification area, or FRIA site. So we have a great working community relationship with two active runways, that being the Savannah International Airport and the Hunter Army Air Base that are very close to us. But we have, for decades, maintained the respect of the local community and the rules and regulations of the AMA to maintain flight altitudes of 400 feet AGL minimum, or maximum, I should say, and to keep things in what we call the bowl, as you see there. Every club meeting, we do discuss the AMA Foundation and the great things that we do. A good many of our members donate quite regularly to the AMA Foundation. And it's asked of us, well, what can the AMA Foundation do for you? Well, we don't ask for anything necessarily. We were able to receive a grant through the AMA for having purchased a automated emergency defibrillator that we have on site, and it's the best investment we never hope to use. But we do have restrictions with our approaches. With our takeoffs and our landings, those trees have grown considerably over the last 15 years that I've been a member of the club. And quite often, and I'm probably the club leader for clipping the trees, that's something we may need to work out with the city of Savannah or Chatham County representatives to see, are we allowed to trim those trees? could we get funding from the AMA Foundation to assist with that effort? We don't want to willy-nilly go out there with chainsaws and start hacking things down, because we have a lot of protected trees in this area, especially the live oak, and all you need to do is cut down one wrong tree and we could lose funding forever and of course lose our so I would think the best support we could receive from the AMA Foundation and the AMA as a whole is assistance with communications with our state and local governments to see what we can do to better the field. Why? We do a lot for the community. We have a great working relationship with the National Museum of the Mighty 8th Air Force, one of the best museums in the country, hands down. We have members that are part of the board of directors, and each year we host a Warbird Rally fly-in specifically to fund or raise awareness of the museum. And of course, we donate a large portion of the benefits that we get from there to support the museum. The museum, by the way, has a fully restored B-17 bomber, so check it out if you're in the area. And of course, in October of every year, if weather supporting, we like to hold a fly-in, and we gather anywhere from 200 to 500 people to come and spectate in the hobby of model aviation. They think we're rock stars. We think they're rock stars. They bring out active former World War II radio operators, bomber pilots, God bless them, they're still alive. They come out here and they marvel in it. And the chance for us to talk with them, talk about the aircraft, display as many types of aircraft there are. Each year we have more and more youth members coming out. Currently we have 8 youth members, and our membership ranges anywhere from 20 to 40 people on a good year, ranging from 8 years to 86. We have a lot of older members. My dad told me 50 years ago, son, this hobby's for old men with pensions. I get that. I'm an old man. I receive a pension and it funds my hobby. But we participate in opportunities to get with the community with fun flies, open invitations for people to come out and learn. We have 6 pilot instructors, I guess is the proper word. We have 3 contest directors on site, to wit that Bill Barbie himself is our Associate Vice President for District 5. So anytime we need to have communications with the AMA, it's fantastic. Andy Griffith, District 5 Vice President, is just a couple hours down the road. We make visits down there. Our turbine-rated pilots fly down there at the Jacksonville's Gateway RC Club. And we have a great working relationship with the Georgia Civil Air Patrol. I've had a chance to go out there and do some hands-on work with them, show them information, how they can get into the hobby itself, and how it correlates to them learning how to fly a full-scale airplane in the event of emergencies and things like that. The Civil Air Patrol has been quite helpful. Outside of that, I've been a club member for the last 12 years, and I've been a club officer for probably 90% of that, starting out as a member at large, then having become the club secretary, a vice president for a couple of years, and this is my second term as president of the club. Bill before me reigned for 11 years, and he just said, you know what, I'm done. Someone else has got to pick it up. So I wasn't elected. I admit that I ran solo, but I'm enjoying my position. And like myself and many others, I live in the Hilton Head, Beaufort County. So I drive an hour to the field on every given Saturday to hang out. And we've got members that drive up to 2 hours just to come down and participate in our activities. So outside of flying, our club is filled with just a great group of individuals. People who come to the club who are interested in learning about model aviation, I typically recommend they don't buy anything right away. So many of us have leftover aircraft that we can donate for them to try it before they buy it, and ultimately have a good experience with model aviation. So that in a nutshell, Steve, is the background on Savannah's Tri-County radio-controlled flyers. I might also note that we had a community-based fundraiser for, what was it? In a nutshell, the city renamed the airfield in honor of Staff Sergeant Anthony Davis, who was a Ranger at the 1st Ranger Battalion in Savannah at Hunter Army Airfield, who was an avid member of Model Aviation, who sadly lost his life in the Operation Enduring Freedom. And the name is aptly named for him. So it's officially known as Staff Sergeant Anthony Davis Memorial Model Airfield.
Yeah.
No, please, I've talked way too long. I apologize.
No, that's what this road trip is about. You know, we want to come out and meet the clubs, know our folks. I'm a club member. So, you know, this is it's a community of passionate modelers and aviators. And we want to support you. The field is beautiful. I'm going to have to come back when we can go out and do some flying together. But yeah, everything sounds great that you folks are doing there. So look for us coming soon. We'll be visiting some other clubs along this road trip. And thank you for taking time to talk to us and sharing these wonderful things that you're doing there.
Sounds good, Steve. Safe travels, and thank you very much.